Good evening. We'll be doing a change of pace tonight on Earth Matters. It's quite a change of pace, believe me. We have with us a Malcom Tent who has a group called the Bunny Brains. And these songs we'll be playing for you tonight in the contemporary mode, say the least, have as topics the environment, militarism, racism, race relations, spouse, and child abuse. The message is there, even though as perhaps people my age or not too much younger having a hard time seeing the message, the youth of this day will see the message, and we hope they will learn from this. Perhaps before we get started, I will just give a background of the group called Bunny Brains, and my first question is, why Bunny Brains, Malcolm?
Well, I really wish we could call the band the Human Brains, but I tend to think that's actually a contradiction in terms. Human beings seem to act more like they have the brains of rabbits than humans, and that's just our take on the situation. It might seem to be absurd on the face of it, but human beings just haven't lived up to the potential that they have.
Well, some have, some haven't. I'm going to stick up for human beings, even though it's the race season. You don't have such a great outlook on human beings.
No.
Don't forget you're one yourself.
Oh no, not at all. That would be the worst form of elitism if I were to exclude myself from that criticism. I mean, it's just a human thing. All human beings have their weaknesses and their short-sightedness and their mental shortcomings. I know I've got mine. Everybody does. It's just a matter of how you deal with it. You can either submit to it and indulge in it or try to raise yourself above it.
And you think most human beings submit to it?
Oh, absolutely.
I kind of think you're right. More people going to movies for escape, reading books for escape, rather than getting into some real hard issues. Who's the audience? What audience do you have of your group? You haven't played around town for quite a while, haven't you?
Yeah, the Bunny Brains have been in existence since mid-1988. Our main audience is younger people, teenagers, early 20s, although we have fans of pretty much all ages. I like the audience we have because, to me, a young kid is a genius, to quote Henry Rollins. Just somebody who hasn't been corrupted yet, somebody who hasn't been spoiled yet, someone who can still think for themselves a bit more than an older person who's been through the ringer and has to work a job and all the daily mundane pursuits that distract a person. They're still open to new ideas and new interpretations of ideas, and I just love the idea of being able to work with that kind of thought process, that kind of fresh, ripe brain that is susceptible to new information.
Mm-hmm. We talk about, you said younger people. A person my age, half the world I think is younger than me. Can you kind of put figures on this younger age you're talking about? You're talking about down as low as 10, 11?
There are a couple, actually, yeah, kids that are that young that follow us. I think we're trying to reach anybody who's young in mind. I mean, age, to me, is not necessarily a chronological thing. Mm-hmm. It's again, what you do. It's what your viewpoint is, what your attitude is. You know, if you think young, you are young. If you're willing to learn, that, to me, makes you a young person. You know, to me, an old person is somebody who figures that they've already learned it all, already seen it all, already done it all, and therefore there's nothing left.
All right, Malcolm, pretty soon we're going to be ready, in a couple of minutes here, we'll be ready for your first song. Would you kind of tell us what to look for, perhaps, and what the song is titled?
Well, the first two numbers we've got are called Sleep Jerk and Busboy Bop. Those are kind of our child abuse songs, which, as you know, is a pretty major problem. It always has been. Unfortunately, it always will be, probably, unless people start to think about it and do something about it. It's a subject that people have been ignorant on for far too long. Yeah. I mean, it's been getting a lot of media coverage lately, but mostly in a negative, sensationalistic light.
We'll be looking for child abuse in these songs. Hopefully we'll be able to understand them. I have trouble. We'll have to talk about this a little bit later. why I can't understand some of these words in these songs. But we'll be looking at child abuse and spouse abuse, I shouldn't say wife abuse, spouse abuse in these two songs. Okay, we'll be looking at these songs shortly. That was very good, Malcolm. Of course, you just performed up on a stage before, and here you are sitting here. This is done through the magic of television or whatever. I cannot deny I'm advanced in years, but I have a hard time understanding that song. Those songs are supposed to be about spouse and child abuse. I had a hard time finding either word in there. But I understand children, or the younger people, can understand it. Can they?
Oh, pretty much. I mean, it's really hard to gauge by a live performance because live, what we do is a lot more frenetic, a lot more frenzied, a lot more emotional, and a lot of it's improvised to boot. So what you're getting there is just a very raw, somewhat abstract idea of what we're trying to do. When we do recordings in the studio, needless to say, the vocals are a lot more clear. And we've made printed lyric sheets, which have everything spelled out very clearly. So the message is there, and you can find it. But again, doing it live, in live performance, it's not necessarily the best medium for it. But again, through the wonders of TV and videotape, you can actually record it, rewind it, listen to it over and over again until you dope out exactly what he said.
Well, that's the whole secret. The lyrics on those little sheets in the cassettes.
Correct.
That's how they... Oh, okay. that makes a little more sense. I have enough things going against me without thinking loss of understanding was one of them. And if the next couple of sets we'll be doing on varied topics and the spectrum of environment, militarism, and racism. Why... these are your favorite topics. Is this the only kind of music you play? You play love songs or blues or?
No, not really. I found that territory has been covered quite amply already. I mean, there's already, you can turn to any commercial radio station and find love songs and stuff of that ilk in quite abundant supply. Unfortunately, topics that relate to the real world and reality as we have to live it and things that affect us as human beings living our life on the planet are fairly scarce.
Yeah, that's very true.
If there is something with a topical nature, it's usually done in a very schmaltzy and overwrought fashion like Michael Jackson's Heal the World, which to me is about the worst kind of fakery. It's very, very obvious, very trite. Listening to that music and watching the music video for that song is just like watching a commercial. And I really wonder what they're trying to achieve by that. I prefer something that's much more direct, much more gut level, although perhaps by looking at the Bunny Brains live you wouldn't think that it's direct or gut level. But the message, like I said earlier, is definitely there. It's there in no uncertain terms, and it is very clear cut.
Each song you play an original?
Yes. We've been known to do cover tunes by other bands, although those are mostly for our own amusement.
And you make up the words as you go along?
To a large degree, yes. Although usually once we find a set of lyrics that works, or a musical structure that works, we'll stick with that and build on it. We'll improvise around it, and eventually a completely finished song will result.
Do you know what you played? I mean, do you take recordings of these songs? How did you know if something went over well last night, you'd like to do it again tomorrow night? How would you...
Basically, we tape everything we do.
Oh, I see.
We tape all of our rehearsals, we tape all of our live shows, and we use them for reference, so we can continue building our repertoire.
Malcolm, now that we know how you remember songs from one time to the next, can you kind of tell us what the next one is going to be about? It's going to be about militarism, but I don't know how you predict if you don't know what's going to be about yourself, though, do you?
Oh, we know. I mean, this is a song that we've written. It's called Kuwait. It's about the organized destruction of the country of Iraq, which is a heinous, disgusting crime that the American people allowed to happen. And what we're saying is something that you're not going to hear on the news, basically.
Okay, let's hear the song, and I know we're all going to like it.
Overeducated, underestimated. I am the bomb. I am the bomb. The bomb is me.
Wow, that was something. My knees are shaking from what was going on, and all that blood flowing. But I was really not really interested. But when he started drilling that guitar, that was for real, huh?
Oh yeah,
the
that
sawdust was flying.
real drill and a real guitar. To my mind, that's an analogy of taking a drill to a perfectly good natural resource and just despoiling it completely for the heck of it, basically.
What's vandalism then, no?
Yeah, you
Not
could,
when
you
you,
could
not
call
when you
the...
do it, but when you...
Absolutely. I would call the absolute annihilation of a country vandalism, you know, especially for such a short-sighted and greedy goal of protecting the Bush family's oil profits. That's reprehensible. That's the worst and in a lot of ways actually the most petty kind of vandalism. Personal gain.
Can we come back to mechanics just a little bit? Did that affect the tone of the guitars?
Yeah.
Did you play these guitars again? These original holes?
Actually, that guitar he had drilled twice before in live performance, and it does alter the tune of the guitar.
Better or worse?
Well, it depends on how you look at it. I think it's great.
What's the guitar worth?
That guitar was worth about, I don't know, $2,000, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, you didn't blow $2,000 just for...
For you, Walter,
Oh,
anything.
for me, it was worth half a buck, probably. Malcolm, I understand you have a store also in on Mill Plain Road, actually. Would you mind telling us a little bit about that? I went there a couple of times, and I was quite impressed by you doing a few things there
Oh,
a
well.
little bit different.
Well, it's called Trash American Style, and I view it actually as much of a missionary enterprise as a store. I mean, we try to put forth ideas that people will not find in the mall, modes of thought that they will not hear about on CBS TV or read about in the Danbury News Times. There's a lot of ideas, a lot of information that's not readily available to the public, and we try to present it to them. I mean, of course, the profit motive is involved, but that's the only way we can do it, basically. But I just like to have people come in, young and old, kids, adults, come in. I don't care if they spend anything. If they want to read magazines and learn stuff all day, that's fine with me. We're dedicated to spreading underground culture, new music, again, fresh, exciting ideas that you won't find anywhere else.
You have an interesting concept there. You actually, well, to me it's interesting. You're selling used cassettes. I know my son comes in and says, I'm going to sell this back of trash. I said, come on, but people don't buy things from you. They sell you things. Oh, no, I'm going to buy it. I sell it. And they actually do that. They take them back, and you buy them back from these
Oh, yeah.
people?
It's a form of recycling, actually.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
It's like, why take perfectly good stuff and throw it in the dump when somebody else might have a use for it?
Yeah, otherwise it's great. What else do you take buy?
Pretty much anything. Old wardrobes, libraries, record collections. Again, it's like instead of cleaning out your attic and disposing of all those old mini skirts and go-go boots, bring them down and turn them into some dollars and let other people use them and enjoy them. Because there's plenty enough to go around. It just seems like that's not really a popular idea with a lot of people.
Yeah, that's indeed recycling, which is really just great. And maybe by buying cassettes, you take a chance on a cassette. You may like it, knowing I can always sell it back for half price, or
Yeah, right.
it's not a complete loss.
It's a fairly no-risk proposition.
Yeah.
Unlike going to a commercial-type record store, you go there and you pay $16 for a new CD or whatever, and you buy it, and if you take it home and don't like it, well, tough, sorry. They just sold you a lemon and got away with it.
Now, where is this trash located?
It's located 12 Mill Plain Road in Danbury, Connecticut, which is right off exit 4 on 84.
Not too far from the Windmill Diner.
Right next door to it, actually.
Right, okay, great. And sign is out there, Trash American Style.
Eye-gouging pink, red, and green neon sign.
All right, now we're on to your next set. That was great, Malcolm. I really couldn't understand all the words, but I'm sure you can. The songs I've been told were 2 by 2, 2 grams of melanin, and wilderness. Now, melanin is skin coloring, I understand.
Yeah, pigmentation. The only difference between a white person and a black person is 2 grams of melanin.
Really? And
That's
everything else the same.
Yep.
But what a world difference there is, isn't there?
Boy, howdy. You know, I keep waiting for humans to outgrow that old tribalism, but it hasn't happened yet. And I certainly do appreciate efforts to outgrow old, outdated, outmoded thought. But again, it's an uphill struggle, but it's a struggle that has to be made. So that's our tiny little contribution.
Now, 2 by 2 was the...
That's
behind that?
basically the sad tale of a town where the men abuse the women and the women finally get fed up with it and split, leaving a town of men who don't know what to do with themselves. There's nothing they can do with themselves. And I'm not saying that's an ideal solution to the problem of spousal abuse, but it gives you something to think about. What would happen if people really did get fed up with it and decide not to put up with it anymore? You'd have a radically different situation.
Imagine so. And last one was Wilderness.
Wilderness, that's always been one of my favorite tunes. It's a real rockin' little teenage ditty, and it's got a pretty good message. It's written from the perspective of a bottle being thrown out of a window, flying through the trees and landing in a place where it was not meant to be in the first place. Not a garbage can or a recycling bin, but in the pristine woods, fouling everything up. Not even of its own volition, but by the actions of some short-sighted, petty human being.
In closing, can we talk about the band members? What their names and thumbnail, sketch of their background.
Well, our lead vocalist is the ever-popular and infamous Egg the Poet. He was a performing artist for years before I met him, and he joined the Bunny Brains as a mode of self-expression. On drums, we have Pete Beat, who was looking for something to beat on, so we gave him some drums, and now he's in the Bunny Brains. On guitars, we have Raymondo, who is a virtuoso, rescued from obscurity by us, and now he can make his musical muscle truly felt. And on the other guitar, we have Davo, who is a disc jockey on WPKN down in Bridgeport, a very forward-thinking fellow and a great noisemaker.
Can you just go back and tell us their professional lives? I know Pete, I was talking
Pete Beat is a...
professionally, he does what?
He's a radio engineer. He repairs radio equipment and does engineering. Raymondo's a jack of all trades. Davo is chauffeur to the stars. And Egg the Poet, well, he's just kind of nondescript. Can't put a finger on him.
Now, do you think the music you're playing has an effect on the younger set? Do they take this music to heart? Do they follow through the enjoyment with their actions, for instance? Are they into the environmental programs or the peace programs? Or do they just sit there and listen, gee, that was nice, I'm going to do my own thing?
Well, I think the average Bunny Brains fan is more apt to pick up on the message than your average Bon Jovi fan, for example. I mean, obviously not all of them do, but I think that our success rate is a lot greater.
Do you see this?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I talk to our fans a lot, and they're a pretty intelligent bunch of people. I'm really pleased with the people that come to see us and buy the products. They have a pretty good grip on what's going on in the world, and they do seem to be able to act on it, which is very refreshing.
Just one dumb question, really. Do you ever play soft? No, I guess not. The words don't want to come out of my mouth even. Softly and quietly, no.
Well, we tried doing that once. We tried playing an acoustic set, but we found that the rage that drives us just wasn't expressed as fully as when we crank everything up to 12 and try to blow the walls down.
Now, I'm not a music critic, but I've seen enough going around, and most of these people are good musicians, right? I mean, you guys, I mean, to me, you look like great musicians. Are they good musicians? I mean, really?
Oh, definitely. Like I said, Raymondo literally can play almost anything. He can play anything he wants. He reads music. He composes. I swear, I've never seen anybody who is as fleet on the fretboard as Raymondo is. Davo's been playing for years. He's got great technique, great style. I've been playing for years. I think I'm pretty good. The only novice in the band, really, you could say, is Pete Beat, but he sure picked up fast.
Okay, but thank you very much, Malcolm. I think we're just about at the very end of the program. Thank you all very much for watching our program. We hope you liked this little change of pace. I know we had a lot of fun doing it, and we'll probably do it again on different changes of pace. And I thank you all very much for watching. See you all next week. Good night. Malcolm, good night. Thank you very much.
Nighty-night, y'all.
Peace.
Keep thinking.